What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sports with Warbs. Today I got John. We're on his stream right now. We're trying something a little different. We're getting the live reaction to the Maple Leafs 4-0 win over the Oilers. I guess we can get right into it. I obviously have my thoughts on the game. I'm sure John does too. I'd like to hear that first. John, what are your initial thoughts here on how your boys played tonight after I was chirping before the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit of a surprise because I think I even didn't even start Jack Campbell in fantasy because I was like, man, Oilers got the advantage coming in, no Matthews, so we'll see what they can do. But I think different aspects of this game, like I mean, we can discuss it, but Draisaitl, where was he tonight? I think the Leafs were able to outmatch. There were certain aspects
Hmm.
of, I mean, Tavares looked a little bit better. Marner obviously helped that, and I think for different players like Engvall or Mikheyev, they stepped up in big ways. So I think I was happy with the Leafs, of course. I mean, as a Leafs fan, you got to be happy with that result 4-0. Campbell coming back from injury and getting the win.
Yeah. I mean, off the cusp, I mean, as an Oilers fan, giving my Leafs props before I get into it. I mean, Campbell, like you said, he looks solid. I mean, a lot of the things the Oilers do is they like to build off momentum. That's like, if you can get McDavid and Draisaitl pumped up, then they're gonna go out there and get points. And Campbell basically just wasn't giving any chance for momentum, which I think hurt them. There was no power plays for the Oilers, another thing they build momentum off of. And it kind of just seemed like after that first goal went in, I mean, the Leafs were having good chances pretty much the entire first. And then the first goal was a PK goal. It was kind of a Nylander like under the arm there. That was not a great start.
What?
And then when you're down 2-0 against a good team,
Yeah.
it was tough, you
I
know?
mean, things would have probably changed, yeah, if they had gotten a power play. Like, I think that's the big aspect of this game is like there's like one power play to the Leafs. The refs let them play, like, and I can't really say.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised because the way the game was starting, like, I was surprised we didn't get more shots. I also think the Oilers probably just, I mean, based on what I saw, they took their foot off the gas a little bit. They were leading in shots by a decent amount, and then the Leafs kind of took that over. Like, there's a problem in a game when you're already down 3-0, and the Leafs are getting offensive pressure consistently. So I mean, that was a problem for the
Yeah.
Oilers, man. Like they slowed
I
up a
know,
little bit,
man.
and then they. I mean, here's the thing: if you wanna, I mean, the refs definitely let them play on both sides, but for the Oilers, if you want to draw penalties, that I mean, you need the guys going. Like Draisaitl, I barely saw him going in the offensive zone. I didn't see the McDavid going around the offensive zone for a little. Even Ilya Mikheyev went for a little skate around the offensive zone. Where was that with McDavid tonight? I mean, we just didn't see it.
Oh man, that Mikheyev skate got a note on the page for sure. That was bad. They but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and rip the Oilers. They've had some good games. They're playing a lot better. Even tonight, like I don't know, like it didn't really like the thing. It was just momentum tonight. I mean, the Leafs got the momentum early, and I was impressed by the Leafs. Honestly, we've played a lot of games against the Canucks, the Flames, where the like work ethic just wasn't there. And for the Leafs tonight, I knew the work ethic would be there. It's kind of like one of those situations where you go in against a backup goalie and you're feeling good. You're like, oh, this is like a perfect recipe. We got two of the best players, but then the backup shows up, you can't get your points and off the start, and then it kind of just dries out. And then by the time it's 3-0, you're basically hoping for a miracle that you're going to be able to come back and tie that up, which we did against Vancouver. But the Leafs, much better team than Vancouver. I was impressed. I mean, like I said, it seems like their third and fourth lines, they were doing good jobs shutting everyone out. That first line, it's interesting. The line of Tavares, Thort, and Marner. It's kind of like a stacked up line for you guys. But yeah, it was a good job by you guys. Campbell, yeah, he made some crucial saves, but yeah, Draisaitl, to comment on him, I mean, I was kind of like I said, he's been playing good, consistent games, and you kind of expect one of these games to kind of pop out and be a tough one. Where after the game, the press conference, they're saying like, "Oh, we should have played harder. We just didn't cash in on our opportunities." Like at 2-0, they had one chance where they could have made it 2-1 and it didn't happen, and then like right away the next time, Spezza goes down and has that nice move. I mean,
Yeah,
props
two
to
huge saves
Spezza.
by
That was
Campbell,
a
and it was shut
goal.
down. Yeah, it looked like it could have been a 2-1 game, and then Kerfoot.
Yeah.
I thought it was Archibald's shot, but it actually went off Kerfoot's stick and hit the crossbar. So I mean, that right
Right.
there could have changed the whole dynamic of the game. Like I said, it was just like small little things that could have changed this game. Whether it was that crossbar or an Oilers power play they didn't
Hmm.
get. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see, I know Oilers fans are, always tend to, defend guys like Draisaitl and McDavid, but tonight, what's the excuse for Draisaitl? I literally didn't see him. I mean, for me, it should have been a mismatch for the Leafs because your centers
Yeah.
are like on paper. Your centers are Tavares, who's struggled lately, Kerfoot, Engvall, and Boyd. And when I'm looking at
Yeah.
McDavid and Draisaitl, you have two threats there, and the mismatches are going to happen. The Oilers should have dominated up the middle. They should have taken advantage big time at the middle, and it just didn't happen. I know, sorry, I'm not trying to make this like a painful thing for you. I'm just speaking facts. Like, there should have been some kind of mismatch here, and there just wasn't. Like, when Engvall's
I
winning
don't.
battles against these guys, like, that's embarrassing.
Dude, the thing, I mean, it is what it is, man. They played hard games. They're like, they're 12-2 in their last 14. They've played hard games. Draisaitl, like I said, it was bound to be a game. You guys came out strong. Your bottom line, we're playing like a gritty game. They feed off energy, and there just was not any energy for the Oilers. A guy like Draisaitl, that's what he does. He'll get in there. He's not going to make the flashy moves like McDavid is, but he's going to get the good passes across. There wasn't finished passes. I mean, there was one pass in front in the second. I mean, the game might have been gone by this point, to be fair, but where it came across and it was just like a fan on the pass, like a perfect pass from Draisaitl. So I don't know. Like I said, it was an impressive game by your depth. I'm not expecting the same game come Monday, but then again, these Oilers Leafs games, we've been talking them up like crazy, and they've and they've
Well, we got a different one every time. I mean,
uh,
we still haven't. I mean, maybe you could argue for one of the games where the Oilers won in overtime, but like in general, we haven't gotten like that. I thought we were getting it tonight, obviously with no Matthews, but the first period, that pace was great. So we still haven't
yeah.
gotten that game of like a 5-4 back and forth. Like I think we're waiting for the ball to drop. We're waiting for that kind of game, and obviously maybe that is Matthews in the lineup, and that will be what's up. But even some people are saying in the chat right now that maybe Draisaitl was hurt. I don't know. Like, was he? But I mean, either
Yeah,
way,
I mean, they
Jack
yeah,
Campbell just
they've
came back
kept
from
him.
an injury and lighted up. So
They've they've kept him out of some practices lately, but I mean, it was just like this would be the type of game that you're like excited about as a Leafs fan, I think. Which is tough to say because I came in here, like I said, before the game we chatted and I was feeling confident,
yeah,
obviously with how the Oilers been playing. But yeah, I don't know. Draisaitl could have some nagging injuries, but he's been playing pretty good of late, and I don't see them kind of playing the same game. But like I said, good game. I'd say good shutdown game from the Leafs. They got that one late, but they did a lot of their damage in the first and start of the second period. So not great, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
any positives for the Oilers coming out of this game as we kind of finish up this recap?
Okay. I want to say, I mean, Nurse also, who's been their number one D and has been like playing out of his mind lately. He didn't have a great game. He was kind of involved on those first few goals. I assume if you look at the stuff tomorrow and the stuff on the Reddit and everything, some of the blame will fall back on Nurse for some of those like one stick on the ice, knee down plays. But in terms of positives, I mean, it wasn't like it's just I don't know. The I'm not totally sold like it was the worst game we played this year. I mean, like I said, the depth shut it down. It was kind of tough out there at some points with how they were playing. Marner obviously had a good start to the game, but Oilers positives. It wasn't the worst game of the year. They still kept their hustle up. They weren't able to finish. They had their chances to get back into it. I mean, kind of like we said on that 2-1 goal, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll see. I think Monday's game will be a little different, hopefully, and we might get that big game we're talking about. I assume Matthews will be back. We're gonna get a motivated Oilers team after getting like, I mean, I don't want to say embarrassed, but outplayed by the first overall team. I'm still confident that we're the second best team in the division, so we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, they didn't play their best one tonight for sure, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's. I guess there's a couple
I
positives
mean,
to
I'm
take
looking
away.
at a 4-0 score. They definitely didn't play their best here, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll give my last shout out just saying subscribe to Sports with Warbs and Hot Take
Yes.
Hockey, and let's keep growing on YouTube.
Yes.
Just what you're told, I'll be your heart temptation.